I've said this before and I will say it once again, that when you examine philosophers from old days, all those that have been around, those you know and those you don't know. Probably let me just mention those you know, like Plato, Socrates, and others, and Aristotle. They have agreed that they have disagreed. From all these philosophers, they have disagreed almost on everything. They have disagreed on the origin of life. They have disagreed on the state of the soul after death. They have disagreed on what makes up the man. They have disagreed on the principles of living. They have disagreed on Mother Nature and Mother Earth. From the oldest of Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, coming to the modern philosophers of David Hume, René Descartes, French philosophers like Voltaire, Sartre, Jacques Derrida, and others. They have disagreed almost on every basic principle of life. But I can tell you, almost all of them have agreed on one thing, the power of the mind. They have written something. Almost every renowned philosopher in every century has written something about the power of our minds. Or whether they are writing, some are writing about thinking abilities, some are writing about the power of attitude, others are writing about how your mind creates your environment, notwithstanding where were you born from, which society you come from, your ethnicity extraction. They put all those factors constant when it comes to the power of the mind. And you must understand that God has gifted you with the faculty of the mind, knowing that actually it's in the mind that imagination takes place. It is in the mind that critical thinking takes place. It is in the mind that creative thinking takes place. So all these things takes place in your mind. So that tells you how important that faculty is to the person. And that's why I've told you that both ancient, modern philosophers disagreed almost on every basic principle of life, but they agreed on the power of the mind. Almost all of them agree that something to do with the mind can shape a man. When you read a book, that old small book that you can read even in 45 minutes, called As a Man Thinketh, so is he by James Allen. He said that the mind is like a garden. When you are growing an exotic flower, you will need to water it, you will need to put some manure in it, and you will need to put it in an environment where it can thrive. So James Allen says that that's how the mind is. However, he says again that if you have a field, you don't need to apply manure, weeds will come. You don't need to put it in an environment or to be in the environment where it's conducive. Whether the environment is conducive or not, weeds will come. So the negative thoughts, the evil thoughts, and every other thing that bombards our mind, they will always come. It is as if this life is programmed to think negative. It's as if this world is programmed by only jealousy people, that everything you ever do, there was someone who will come out and fight against you. But it is not in natural order for people to think good about you. It is not in natural order for your mind to be straight when you're thinking on positive matters and optimistic matters. It is not in natural order, just as it's not in natural order for weeds to be taken care of so that they thrive. They thrive and they flourish whether you're watering them or applying manure or not. So that's how the mind is. If you know this old principle, garbage in, garbage out. So if you feed your mind with garbage, trust me, it's what garbage, it's garbage that will come out. If you feed your mind with ideas, it will synchronize with the ideas you are creating. And don't think that it's going to take a fortnight. Don't even think that it's going to take 1 month. It may not even take 2 months. It may take years. But I can tell you, it pays. Most of the things I teach now, I've been reading them for the past 7 years. So for you might watch this video, if this is your first video to watch, you might think, I read that in a book. Yes, you may have read it in a book last month, but I've been reading it for the last 7 years. This is the 8th year. So the mind, programming the mind that nothing negative puts you down, even when it has come, takes time.